Hello curl friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's great to have you join me today. Today we are doing a Hubby Chooses video, and I had originally planned to be set up in my sunroom, but it was just so darn gloomy out that I had to come in the bathroom. But you know, I've done on this bathroom routine a fair amount, so I feel like it offers decent lighting. Definitely better lighting than the sunroom today, so that's inconsequential to you guys. You are here to see what my husband chose for my stylers. So I've already done my wash routine and I've shampooed and conditioned with the V&Co Wavy Shampoo and Conditioner line. So I'm ready to go. Let's take a look at the products that my husband chose. All right, first we are going to start off with the creams and leave-ins. Which one do you want to choose, dear? All right, now we have the gels. Which one do you want to choose? All right, and last we have the mousse and foams. Which one are you gonna pick? All right, so we have the Joico Curls Like Us Hydrating Defining Cream, and then we have the Curlsmith Hydro Style Flexi Jelly, and then we have the Aussie Instant Freeze Sculpting Mousse. All right, once again, no real rhyme or reason to the products that he picks, except for maybe like sometimes I feel like there's a color theme or something like that. But we are going in with the Joico Curls Like Us Hydrate and Define Curl Cream Styler. And I've recently done a video on this and I really like this line. So, or the products that I chose kind of paired together. I did this and I did the gel. I did like the firm hold gel and I did a mousse. They weren't from the Curls Like Us line though. So this was the only product I had gotten from that. But I do think that this is a great cream styler, but I just haven't paired it with really anything else. I don't think I've paired it. No, I haven't paired it with any other products other than the Joico products. But I just really like this when I do use it, when I paired it with like either the gel, the Joico gel, or the Joico mousse. I feel like it gives great definition. It's lightweight enough, but moisturizing enough, all in the same sense. And so I'm looking forward to using it again today, I guess is what I'm getting at. So just breaking that all through. It doesn't have like a ton of slip to it, but I can feel some of the product in there. So I think I got a good amount. I'm just gonna brush that through with my Tangle Teezer. When I say it doesn't have a ton of slip, what I mean is there's good slip, like there's adequate slip, but it isn't one of those that where you're just like, wow, it's a detangler type of thing. No, it's not really a detangler. I wouldn't call it that. But it does allow, or it does go through your hair well enough. Just working on kind of lifting some sections just to make sure. Probably looks pretty messy doing it that way. It was kind of an awkward attempt, but I'm just trying to make sure like all the inner layers get this cream as well, because she's just that good. The next two products I'm going to go in with after I have brush styled. So let's get the brush styling out of the way. I'm going to skip past my sectioning methods here because this side always goes good, but when I go to do the other side of this horseshoe on top, it gets a little messy. All right, so I have the back section, or I have my hair all parted and I have the back section already brushed. And now I'm just working on the sides. We're going to get a look after I finish this side and just see how the clumping looks. But like I said, even though there's not detangling amounts of slip, my brush is gliding through without a problem. It doesn't feel like there is any extra tugging or anything like that. So I'm just wondering how this is going to play with the rest of the products that my husband chose. For the most part, I actually like all of these stylers. The gel is a little like hit or miss. I've had some good results and I've not had anything bad, but sometimes it's just a little unremarkable, depends on what I pair it with. But since I feel like I like all of these in general, I feel like this should be a pretty good routine. Okay, I got a little tangle down here at the end, so I'm just slowly working my brush through that. All right, going back through. When I do brush my hair with this bounce curl brush, I like to go once on the top and then once underneath. I think I would do that regardless of the brush. It just helps smooth down both sides. Now these end pieces, I don't really do it like that. I mean, I just did it for you there. but I don't typically do that. Going to rake it through my fingers and scrunch. I want to get a little extra water in my hair. All right, scrunching once again. Okay, now on my curl type, it's hard to tell like how my curl pattern is going to turn out at the end until it's the end, basically, once my hair is dry. But I do feel like I'm seeing some good definition here, some good results. Minimal to no frizz, oh, maybe just a little bit back there I saw. But really, I'm happy with how this is looking, so I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this brush styling process, and I'll come back as I'm getting ready to apply the next product. So now we're just doing scrunching all around after brush styling. And then I'm going to be applying the gel next. This is the Curlsmith Hydro Style Flexi Jelly. I have the old packaging. It's probably the old formulation. I've said this before in some of my videos, but when Curlsmith changed their packaging, even though they don't say it on like the website or on the packaging for most of it, the formulations are different. The ingredients are different. So to me, that's a new formulation. A lot of the ingredients are the same. A lot of the order of the ingredients is the same, but they're not the exact same. So take that for what you want. But this has been a favorite of a lot of people for a long time, a lot of curly people. So I'm going to flip upside down to apply this gel. Actually, you know what? No, first, let's go in with just kind of loosely parting my hair. You can see I don't have it in like a solid line at all in the least, but I'm parting it according to the curl clumps. And then I'm going to go in with this. I have about a nickel-sized amount. It's been a long time since I've used this gel, so I don't remember how much I really want to go in with, but I know my mousse is going to be a good holder, so I'm not like all that concerned if I don't get enough of this gel. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this though, flipped upside down like I had originally intended. All right, I'm going in with closer to a dime-sized amount on my hands this time. I'm just gonna really focus on it on the back area. Scrunching that all over. So far, I like what I see. Nice, lots of nice curl clumps and really minimal to no frizz at this point. All right, while I'm down here, let's just go in with the last product. It's the Aussie Instant Freeze Sculpting Mousse. I've done this in a video where, what was it? Where I did an Influence by the Influencer. I did Swavy Curly Courtney's like minimal, fast styling routine. And I used this as a single product, a single styler. No cream, no leave-in, nothing like that. And it worked. My hair was starting to feel a little bit more dry by I think like day 3, if I remember correctly, and into day 4. But it did work and it has fantastic hold. When it says Insta Freeze, yes, it has a lot of hold. I do want to try the gel, the Insta Freeze gel. I plan on doing that a little bit later this summer. You know, give it a good run for its money with the humidity and everything like that. But let's go in with this product here. Yeah, a little bit more. All right. This does break down into a serum-like consistency. So in my opinion, that does make it easier for spreading, for getting all around. I'm going to kind of part my hair here and try to get these inner layers because they need some too. And I'm not going to go in with any more than that. If I was using this without a gel, I might go in with some more, but I could probably get away with just what I have anyways. So I'm just going to scrunch like crazy for a while. Fast forward through that. All right, you guys, I did forget my wet plop in the other bathroom, so I am going to put that on here in just a minute. Actually, we're all set with the styling portion. I'm just going to, like I said, leave it set up in the wet plop for about 10-15 minutes, diffuse my hair. I'll come back and I'll show you the results. All right, friends, I have my hair fully styled and diffused, and let's take a look at it. I have great definition throughout. Great definition on the underside, on the top, in the middle. There's a very minimal frizz throughout my hair, and I just like it. And it's lightweight enough that I feel like I have a decent amount of volume. Now, I am always a little volume challenged, and the longer my hair gets, the more that's the case. But really, it's not bad. Like, my hair feels lightweight and it looks decent on the volume, like I said. Let me show you what the back of it looks like here. So what do you think? Did my husband pick out some good products to pair together? I think so. As I said, for this Joico cream, the Curls Like Us cream, I really do like it. I think it's fairly lightweight. I don't think it's super heavy. I haven't played around with it, using it with a lot of other products, mainly just with the line itself, or the brand itself, I should say. But I'm excited to see what I can mix and match this with. One of them I definitely want to try is with the Dippity Doo Girls with Curls. That is one of my favorite, all-time favorite gels, and I just love pairing that with all different other kinds of products that I love as well. So I usually get fabulous results. As I said, I think this is a good base for giving me the definition and minimal frizz as well. Of course, the other products help with minimizing frizz as well, but I love this. The Curlsmith Hydro Style Flexi Jelly. This is a medium gel, in my opinion, a medium to lightweight, actually, almost. So it does decent as far as, you know, helping to define curls, it's not like the initial defining, but to help keep the frizz at bay. It does decent at that, but it's not my favorite for it. In my opinion, it's relatively lightweight as well, so that is another benefit or another bonus to it, but it's just not something I find myself reaching for very often. Although I've had this for a couple years now, and I think I'm finally getting pretty low. I think I'm maybe like a little under halfway. Really though, that's pretty pathetic for such a small container. And then the Aussie Insta-Freeze Mousse, Sculpting Mousse. This is a great firm holding mousse. Now, as I was diffusing my hair, there was quite a significant cast, but I was able to scrunch it out pretty well with this. Sometimes I like to scrunch out the cast as I'm diffusing. Sometimes I prefer to wait until after my hair is completely dry. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch today, so I was like scrunching as I was going after I had already gotten the cast, if that makes sense. So my hair was probably about 80% dry, and at that point where I was flipped upside down, I scrunched out on that final go around with the diffuser. And so yeah, I like this mousse. Once again though, I haven't paired it with a lot because I have such a huge stash. There are so many products that I really love, and I just have a hard time trying to get to them in the manner that I would like, just because I have so many. So I am really enjoying this look today. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. And until I see you again in the next video, have a great day. Bye, friends.